AEW Full Gear. So All Elite Wrestling's been doing pay-per-views more often recently. I think they're going to expand. They're going to do a pay-per-view every 2 months. Maybe even less than that. We'll see. But it's not been the best time for AEW, creative and ratings-wise. A lot of stuff's been going on in the back. You hear some drama almost every week nowadays, which is strange because you never used to hear anything in 2020, 2021. You never used to hear anything but positive from the back. Nowadays, it's changed. Wrestlers liking random tweets, just some drama. So with that said, let's get into it. Full Gear. Before the show, Eddie Kingston retained the ROH Championship against Jay Lethal. Claudio Castagnoli beat Buddy Matthews. And Samoa Joe teamed up with MJF to retain the ROH Tag Team Championships against the Guns. Adam Cole was of course unable to compete, so Joe replaced him. This was despite him pursuing the AEW World Championship. This didn't stop Adam Cole though from appearing. The Guns ended up destroying MJF's knee, and doubts about his status were in place before the end of the pre-show. So at this point, it's like, oh, maybe MJF won't appear to defend the title. So yeah. Alright, let's get into the main show. The first match on the show was a trios match. Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne faced Adam Copeland, Sting, and Darby Allin. Edge's debut in AEW has been very strange. I thought he would end up here, but never really imagined it. Ric Flair, I think everyone expected him to eventually end up here, but it was a matter of waiting until the controversy surrounding him cooled down. So seeing him here wasn't shocking. Fast-paced action between Wayne and Darby. Copeland and Christian were about to have a moment, but Christian tagged out. Darby dies again, business as usual for him. They dominated and took advantage of his size, and just when things look better for the good guys, Christian ruins everything. The story of this match is based on Christian and Copeland. Flair got involved, and God forbid he actually wrestles. I'm personally believing he's actually going to come in there for another match in the year of 2024. Christian's cowardly acts lead to him running away, and the trio take advantage to win the match. Decent match. It was more about building tension between Copeland and Christian. Other than that, it was a bit enjoyable. More Dynamite-esque match rather than a pay-per-view. At least that's how I felt watching it. They're really going to drag Edge and Christian's feud out to probably World's End. I highly doubt they'll get to Revolution unless it's a blow-off, we'll see. But I'm just waiting for that match. I just want to see those two running back again. They haven't done a match together against each other since 2010, so I'm sure they'll go all out for that one. Jay White wanted to be announced as the champion when Adam Cole came out. He was hurting in no shape to compete, but was ready to defend the title for MJF. The next match is for the AEW International Championship. Orange Cassidy defended the gold against Jon Moxley. A rematch from All Out. So, in the time that Jon Moxley won the title at All Out, he ended up losing the title. Now Orange Cassidy is the champion. This time around, it was redemption of Orange Cassidy. This one was going up against their first match, which was way better, to be honest. I thought it was decent, a bit good. OC looked very resilient and very determined to right last time's wrong. Mox bled, which doesn't need to be mentioned, but at this point, if he faced Ric Flair in a first blood match, it would end in a draw within the first minute. Other than that, the finish was very explosive. Usually, AEW wrestlers always kick out of the big moves, you know. The wrestlers have this weird resiliency and storyline, but here, Mox wasn't even falling from the punches. This is one of OC's most important moves. He was just faltering around. OC was going for like 5 of them when only 1 would be enough. Orange Cassidy was essentially climbing up this tough mountain to overcome Jon Moxley. Solid match. It's not as good as their previous one. That was one of my favorite AEW matches from this year. I think the finish was a bit too much. It didn't need to be that much, I think, because Orange Cassidy himself is in storyline a very good wrestler. He doesn't need to hit like 6 of these. It made Jon Moxley look a little too strong, like a big Superman-esque character. Which, as I said, I don't think that needed to be the case here because Orange Cassidy in storyline is almost as good as him. But All Out ain't gonna be touched. Okay, the next match is for the AEW Women's World Championship. Hikaru Shida defends the title against Timeless Toni Storm. She's given her all into this character to make it work. Marilyn Monroe-esque, of course. She's like this 40s, 50s actress. Some strange stuff. Her character change kind of limits her matches, as evident by this. I didn't think it was their best match. A lot of outside interference and shenanigans, and it didn't befit a World Championship match. Random match on Dynamite, maybe. Too much drama, not enough wrestling. That ending was an ending, I guess. She brought out a plate and launched her ass into Shida to win the title. Then after the match, Mariah May came out and brought out flowers for the new champion, Toni Storm. Shida's reign ends with another underwhelming end for Timeless Toni Storm. It's well-deserved based on her character at the moment. It makes her a 3-time champion, which is kind of crazy in itself, because she just debuted like a year ago. It doesn't feel so long ago that she just came into AEW and was trying to get a title shot, let alone become champion. She puts in a lot of effort to being timeless, and her character has been the most interesting one over the last 2 months. So as I said, it makes sense that she won the title. But I didn't really like this match. The next match is a fatal 4-way tag team ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Brody King and Malachi Black, Rush and Dralistico, FTR, and Starks and Big Bill faced off. Starks and Big Bill winning the titles was so damn random. It just came from out of nowhere. It's one of the surprises that AEW has done recently. But with regards to this one, absolutely insane. The spots came and gone, and I don't think there was a minute without a ridiculous spot. Cash Wheeler was hitting pile drivers in the corner. It was crazy. The result itself was expected. I didn't think it would go any other way. Starks and Bill just won the titles. Bill was a very entertaining match, and I almost find it strange how they haven't done one of these tag team ladder matches recently, because it was all over the place. It never got dull for a single moment. It was not boring in the slightest. And that's what I thought was nice about this match. You add 4 teams, it's never going to get dull. The next match was the TBS Championship. Chris Statlander defended the title against Sky Blue and Julia Hart. Sky Blue's turn to the dark side. I believe this was her first match on pay-per-view, not the pre-show thing. And this was better than the other women's match. I'm going to say it right now. They went all out. Chris was a super powerhouse throwing them around. She was a beast, basically Brock Lesnar. The other two were interrupting pinfalls, jumping all over the place. That was nice stuff. This match was way better than the AEW Women's World Championship. If anything, this should have been the World Championship match. For Julia Hart, this was a victory. Kind of shocked me because I thought Statlander had a lot more left in the tank with regards to this title reign. But if she's going up, it makes sense. Julia Hart's presentation and aura has done her wonders. She's gotten better in ring and it makes sense. Good match. Time moves fast. You know, like it wasn't long ago where she was the cheerleader of the Varsity Blondes. Now she's the champion. She's the champion, the secondary champion for the AEW Women's Division. It's crazy. Will Ospreay is all elite, but we're gonna have to wait a bit to see it. Now, this man would have been a huge gift for any promotion. With AEW having another all-in show, that could be his crowning moment. I just hope they go all out with him, and usually someone signs with the company and they take it slow. I feel with Will Ospreay, they just throw him into the fire like Bryan Danielson. He's already been around, and we really should have saw that as a foregone conclusion. You know, I actually thought for a bit, hey, he might go to WWE or even Impact. I thought the Impact thing a bit because he could lead the promotion into a new era, but he's kind of too big for it in some ways. And I'm going to say right now, he's the best wrestler in the world. In ring, there's not really many that touch him at the moment. There's Bryan Danielson, there's others. But he's on fire. He's been on fire for the last 2 years. Ever since 2021, he's turned it up. He's kicked it up a notch. And this is his reward. Okay, the next match was a Texas death match. Swerve Strickland faced Hangman Adam Page. Swerve's moving up. Well-deserved push. He's a star that AEW is looking for. A new guy to climb to the very top. Now, this feud was very, very, very personal. You don't visit some guy's house, stand next to his kid, and taunt him, criticize him, and expect a normal match afterwards. And I don't really know how to describe this match because it was all blood. Hangman was using a stapler. They're bleeding all over the place. It was gnarly. It was rough. It was violent. I legitimately mean it was violent. If you watch this match, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm almost shocked we didn't hear Wild Thing after seeing all this blood. Hangman at one point drank Swerve's blood, and I was shocked at the level of violence. It made sense that they went at each other like that. There's so many countless spots out here that were rough, that were brutal, that were violent. Everything about this match matched the feud. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking for some random punches. You're looking for guys trying to kill each other. This was more violent than Hangman and Jon Moxley last time around. These two, you felt the hatred between them. It was way more than the other two had previously. Here, they wanted to kill each other almost legitimately. Prince Nana tried to dance his way out of a situation, but to no avail. Brian Cage got dropped as well, and a cinder block destroyed any hopes of a Hangman victory. Swerve won, and there's no topping that match. It was a big story and a big result for Swerve Strickland. They just have to get it right with him. It's kind of tough for Hangman, but it is what it is. Absolute brutality, the likes we haven't seen recently. So where's Swerve go? Does he go to the world title? Only time will tell, but great moment. Great performance from him. This is his most iconic match up to this point. I think everyone saw what Swerve was capable of the moment he signed with AEW. Some already thought it was strange WWE released him, but he started to prove why he was that talent that people should watch out for in the last year. And recently, the last 3 months, he's really shown that there's no other direction that AEW should go with him other than the world title scene. The next match was between the Golden Jets, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks. The winner gets the AEW World Tag Team Championships match. The Bucks have slowly been phased away from a rematch with FTR. I was expecting it to happen here because it was basically the Bucks' home state. Instead, they're running it back with Omega again. Shades of Revolution 2020. This match was in a very tough spot. After the match of the night, they had to work extra hard. Jericho and Omega doesn't seem so strange as a tag team, but it feels like something that would have happened a couple of years ago, like in 2018, 19, something like that. The match picked up as time went on, and I didn't see the Bucks winning this one, although I started to doubt that once they hit the low blow. Both teams were cheating to win after that. That wasn't the case though, and Omega and Jericho took their title shot. The duo were frustrated, and I'm sure this will lead to something. Now, Jericho's had quite the week. He went down to Japan, faced Konosuke Takeshita, had a good match with him, comes back to America, has this match, which is decent, you know, but it was nice. And the main event, Adam Cole, in honor of MJF, defended the AEW World Championship against Switchblade Jay White. This was bizarre, the way they went about the entire thing. So for most of the pay-per-view, they promoted this match, which everyone knew wasn't going to happen. MJF comes out all heroic against Doctor's orders, and this is what's funny. Adam Cole came out, no one gave a damn. Britt Baker complained about this on Twitter as well, and it was funny. And MJF, despite the knee, has the match. The match itself was really hurt by the injury story. It would have been better off without it. I kind of think there is a reason why. I'm going to get to it later, but let's talk about the match. MJF's selling was pretty inconsistent and left a lot to be desired, and that's why I preferred the match to be simple. They wouldn't have that problem, and in turn, he'd be able to do more. Jay White dominated the first half. Second saw MJF get more energetic, acting like he was wrestling without a broken knee, jumping all over the place, and they had to work extra hard to get to a point where the match was considered decent or good. And they wouldn't have needed to do that if it wasn't for the injury story. So if you remove the injury story, they probably would have had a way better match. Interferences, drama, Jay White trying to cheat to win but fails, and MJF in the end blasts Jay White to retain the title. So basically, Jay White lost to a one-legged MJF. Granted, he got protected a bit by the finish with the ring, the fact that MJF didn't beat him clean, so there's that. But there was a lot of problems with this match. Number one, the whole Adam Cole thing. They built the whole pay-per-view up to promote Adam Cole versus Jay White when everyone knew it was going to happen. That's number one. Number two, the injury story harmed the match greatly to the point where a lot of people hated this match. I didn't really like it that much. I liked the second half of it. First, I did not like it at all. I personally believe that the reason why they did the whole injury thing was to show Adam Cole was so friendly with MJF, he likes him so much that he would risk his own health to defend the title for him, adding to the level of trust that MJF has for Adam Cole, which in turn leads to Adam Cole potentially being the devil and letting him down. Do I think Jay White got buried? No, I'm not going to be dramatic, but it was a pretty big loss. Yeah, it wasn't clean, all that, but still, he lost to a one-legged man, and this was the IWGP Heavyweight Champion not too long ago, one of the best wrestlers in the world, all that, loses to a one-legged MJF who had to cheat to win. That story left a lot to be desired. The ending had me thinking the devil was coming out, which they didn't, of course. So we'll see how that goes, but this wasn't the best match. I thought it was very disappointing for what it was. They should have just left it as it was. Simply a match where Jay White steals MJF's title and he tries to reclaim it. Simple as that. No extra drama, none of that, because it hurt the match a lot. They had to work extra hard to get to a point where they would have gotten easily with the normal match. Alright, that's AEW Full Gear. Not the best pay-per-view, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really like it that much. Some of the matches were solid, decent. Like, there was no match here that's like, sucks so bad. No, I didn't think that. But a lot of the matches here weren't the best. Match of the night, no doubt about it, Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page, Texas Death Match, one of the best matches I've seen this entire year. It was brutal, it fit in line with the story perfectly. You felt that these guys wanted to kill each other, and they executed it excellently. It was great. There was nothing close on the show. There just wasn't. In the main event, it was pretty disappointing. I didn't really like it that much. It was too dramatic for its own good. And a lot of people compared it to WWE in 2018 or 19, which I thought was funny. I was like, what the hell? A lot of people are like, hey, AEW's turned into the one thing they hated, which was these weird finishes, these weird matches. Some people even called MJF Super Cena booking. It's funny stuff, but I didn't really like it that much. I think they could have done it simply as it was. Would have been better. So yeah. Alright, what you guys think of Full Gear? Please comment down below, and that's it for this video. Make sure you hit the V trigger on the like button and perhaps the paradigm shift on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.